8:50. It is a Thursday morning, April 28th, 2016. Good to be with you. Always good to talk with Father Bob Fisher from Shrine. And Father, it was great to be at your gala. That was a blast. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It really was a wonderful evening for the community.
And thanks for holding on to my Adirondack chairs. I know they're still over there. You hid them somewhere for me, but I bid on them, and we love going to those types of events because you support such a great cause, the Catholic parish, Catholic education, and you get some really good deals. So anyway, it was a blast. It was very well done, and the whole Kentucky Derby theme was very fun. All right, so let's talk about Faustina, because I just was speaking with Leonardo de Philippis last week, and he has a series of these beautiful productions that are going on around Michigan. There's one coming up at your beautiful parish, correct?
Yeah, that's right. On Tuesday, May 3rd, 7 p.m., and then Wednesday, May 4th at 10 a.m., we're bringing in the St. Luke Productions production of Faustina. We've had their one on Therese here before, and I think they did Maximilian Kolbe a couple years ago. But they do a wonderful job. It's a very inspiring, very touching performance, so we're really looking forward to it.
And why do you think this is important to bring these types of productions to the parish level, Father?
The arts and drama, they all have a way of touching people's hearts that perhaps just ordinary words do not. Using sound and sight and everything all together really can touch people. And in fact, even at the St. Therese production here, there's a wonderful testimony by Father Brian Hurley about how his life was touched by it. But it really has the power to get the message out there. And in this case, the message of mercy, which is, of course, our theme for this whole year.
So what are you hoping people will walk away with next week after the performance?
I was reading St. John Paul II's homily from her canonization Mass, and there's this wonderful line where he says, "And is not mercy love's second name, understood in its deepest and most tender aspect, and its ability to take upon itself the burden of any need, and especially in its immense capacity for forgiveness." And so I think if people can walk away from the production with knowing God's love and how much He wants to be a part of their lives and how He desires to forgive sins and to bring people closer to Him, I think the production will have done its job if people can walk away with that sense.
I think it's also very important for people to realize more about the saints. I just wrote a book about the saints and reading and investigating their lives, how real they are. Sometimes we put them up on a shelf and we think they had this perfect life without any suffering.
Yeah, somehow that they're sterile and removed from humanity when it's just the opposite. They lived the same human lives that we're living, and yet in the midst of it, they were able to welcome God's love into their hearts and to respond to His will, and because of that, found great peace, great satisfaction in this world, despite any sufferings they may have had to face.
And Faustina, she suffered a great deal. She was actually treated very poorly by some of her fellow sisters and superiors. They really looked down on her because she wasn't very literate. And it's amazing whom God chooses to get His message out there, isn't it?
Yeah, and very similar to Therese herself, Again, God chooses who He wants, but it is amazing who He chooses to get the message out there.
Yeah, Saint Therese, who was so simple and so sweet, and that she wrote so many things that people could understand. And Saint Faustina, her diary went through obviously a lot of examination by the church, and for a while there we were supposed to stay away from it because it hadn't been approved. But boy, what a message she has! Do you see the message of Saint Faustina becoming increasingly popular, Father?
It sure seems to be. It's grown and grown and grown over these last several years, and I think more and more our people are ready to receive it and understand what she truly was about.
And are you finding that people are coming to the shrine to learn more about Therese when they realize what you have there at the Basilica?
We are finding that, especially since our Holy Father, Pope Francis, has named us a basilica. The number of people coming to visit has really increased, and so it's a great opportunity for us to get that message out there.
All right, so give us the details again of the Faustina production next week.
Tuesday, May 3rd, 7 o'clock. Wednesday, May 4th, 10 a.m. Admission for adults is $10. 17 and under is $7. And if they come to our parish website, www.shrinechurch.com, all the information is there, as well as with our upcoming pilgrimage to Italy, to Rome, and Assisi, and San Giovanni Rotondo, and all the other wonderful activities that are happening here.
I know you're doing a pilgrimage with corporate travel. So the information is there on your website?
That's correct.
Yeah, there's nothing like walking in the footprints of the saints. I can't wait to get back to Italy. We're doing several trips ourselves this year. That, to me, is the most... There's something about walking in their footsteps and seeing the places where they lived.
It makes us feel very close to them, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. All right, my friend. Well, good to talk to you again, Father. Hang on to those Adirondack chairs for me. I promise we'll be over to pick them up fairly soon.
All right, sounds good.
Before summer. All right, Father. Father is a pastor at Shrine of the Little Flower in Royal Oak, which is now a basilica. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to go to learn more about St. Therese, and just a beautiful church to spend some time in adoration or just to, reflect upon the life of St. Therese, the Little Flower, who is also, by the way, one of the 4 female doctors of the church. And again, speaking of great saints, St. Faustina, the production will be next week at the parish, and you can get all the information, of course, on the Shrine's website. Coming up in our National Hour, looking forward to chatting with Peter Sprigg. He's a senior fellow at Family Research Council. We are going to be talking about all the craziness right now, all the attacks on states such as North Carolina and Mississippi and elsewhere. Anyone who dares speak common sense regarding this whole bathroom push, it's just unbelievable how out of control this whole situation has gotten, and how some of these companies are saying, oh, we are so politically correct. Really? Then why aren't you consistent? They sit there and they say they're going to be so welcoming, and yet they continue to do business in countries where human rights violations are off the chart. So we'll talk about that with Peter. And then, can you answer some questions? We'll find out. The Ultimate Catholic Quiz with Carl Keating in our National Hour. Stay tuned. You're listening to this program, Catholic Connection, a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN. We'll be right back on a Thursday.